My name is Sahil and I'm going to teach you Python in these online classes. In these classes, you are going to learn everything you need to get started programming in Python. Python is one of the most popular programming languages and everyday people use it to do cool things like automation. They use it in artificial intelligence as well as building applications, websites like Instagram, Dropbox. In these classes, I'm going to teach you everything you need to get started in Python. So let's start.
Every machine, whether AI enabled or not, follows a particular path of action. It goes through exact specific steps that have been programmed into it to accomplish the given task. For example, a washing machine. A washing machine can wash the clothes for us and not do anything else because it is designed for this task only. It follows the step programmed into it and completes the work. Can you think of possible steps to wash clothes in a washing machine? Pause the video and write down the steps. You might be wondered, how do people create such programs? What can be the things that needs to be considered to design such program? Okay, to develop a program, the first step that comes into a picture is to specify the task which the machine needs to do. Once the task or the main objective of a program is finalized, the task is broken into a smaller tasks which all together contribute towards achieving the main goal. To make sure that the flow of the process is proper, algorithms and flowcharts are used which help us to develop a stepwise framework to achieve the main goal. Now, let's understand what is an algorithm. To write a logical step-by-step method to solve the identified problem is called an algorithm. In other words, an algorithm is a procedure for solving problems. In order to solve mathematical or a computer problem, this is the first step of the procedure. An algorithm includes calculations, reasoning, and data processing. Algorithms can be represented by natural languages and flowcharts. To understand algorithm better, let us take an example of the process of making instant noodles. Here are some basic steps or algorithms to prepare instant noodles. Can you think of the other ways to make instant noodles? Pause the video and write down the steps. Now it's time for a quick activity. The goal of the activity is to understand the way to write step-by-step algorithm for a problem. Before we jump into the exercise, let us go through the ground rules. The first rule is, this is an individual exercise, don't discuss with anyone. Second, think about different ways in which it can be done. The solution may vary from person to person. And the challenge is to write algorithm for making tea, coffee, hot chocolate, making chapati, rice, and make masala dosa or samosa. After writing the algorithms, exchange them with your parents and look at what procedure they followed for the same task. Did you find any difference? If yes, write them. If not, write how they are similar. From this activity, you will be able to learn how to divide the task into several subtasks. Also, you will be able to choose the most efficient method out of the different ways to solve any problem. Now, let's understand what is flowchart. A flowchart is a graphical or a pictorial representation of an algorithm. With the help of different symbols, shapes, and arrows in order to demonstrate program. While computer work with numbers at ease, human need visual representation to understand the information well and communicate it effectively. Thus, the flowcharts are used to break a process into smaller parts and elaborate it using visual representations. There are some shapes which are used to represent flowchart. The first one is terminal box to start the program, rhombus to call input and display output, rectangle to represent a process, diamond to mention the decisions, and arrows to connect all these steps. Now that we have the definitions of algorithm and flowchart, how do we use a flowchart to represent an algorithm? Let us look at example. Here in this example, we need to print a sequence from 1 to 20 on the screen. In the very first step of algorithm, we will initialize x as a 0. In the next step, we are required to increment x by 1 and then print 1 on the screen. After that, we have added a condition where if x is less than 20, it will again go to the step 2 and increment the value of x from 1 to 2. Now it will print x as a 2 and then check the value in the step 4. The process will continue till x reaches to 20. At x equals to 20, the condition will fail and the process will terminate. The same can be seen in the flowchart. Starting with the terminal box, then initializing x as a 0, which is represented in a rectangle. The next process is incrementing x by 1 and then print x, which is represented in rhombus shape. Here the condition is mentioned in a diamond where it will check the value of x. Further, if the condition is true, it will go back to the process 2 and follow next steps, and if the condition is false, it will terminate the process here. In the next example, we are required to design an algorithm in which every Fahrenheit value of a temperature will be converted into a Celsius. Here in the first step, we will call the value of temperature in Fahrenheit, that is asking for input in the first step, then convert it into a Celsius using the conversion formula, and finally print the output on the screen. Hope you have got some idea about algorithms and flowchart and how they works. Actually, these are some basic and essential things required to start a Python. Alright, it's time for a challenge. Here are some tasks for you. In these, using the knowledge of algorithms and flowcharts, you are required to design algorithms for the following. We'll discuss the solution in the next session. Thank you. We'll see you in the